جہاں بھی ہو وہیں سے دو صدا سرکار سنتے ہیں. جہاں بھی ہو وہیں سے دو صدا سرکار سنتے ہیں. سرے آئینہ سنتے ہیں پسِ دیوار سنتے ہیں. سرے آئینہ سنتے ہیں پسِ دیوار سنتے ہیں. میرا ہر سانس ان کی آہٹوں کے ساتھ چلتا ہے. میرا ہر سانس ان کی آہٹوں کے ساتھ چلتا ہے. میرے دل کے دھڑکنے کی بھی وہ رفتار سنتے ہیں. میرے دل کے دھڑکنے کی بھی وہ رفتار سنتے ہیں. میں صدقے جاؤں ان کی رحمت للعالمین کے. میں صدقے جاؤں ان کی رحمت للعالمین کے. پکارو چاہے جتنی بار وہ ہر بار سنتے ہیں. پکارو چاہے جتنی بار وہ ہر بار سنتے ہیں.
MashaAllah, Subhanallah. Assalamu alaikum Pakistan, and welcome to our special and exclusive Sahur transmission here on PTV World, Pakistan's only English channel. Joining you once again, I'm Ahmed Nawaz with Naila Shuja. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you doing, Ahmed?
I'm very well. How are you?
How was your Friday?
Alhamdulillah. Loved every bit of it.
Anything special happen? Anything?
Absolutely. A lot of things. I finally got to spend a lot of time with family. So I think that was good.
Amazing.
So finally, you know, I had a brief time, but it was worth it. I've been missing out on quality family time. So I think that was there. Had iftar with my very close friends. Won my second match of the tournament. So
Congratulations. Congratulations.
So cricket is there.
You have a very busy Ramzan
Yes,
going on. I love it.
I'm loving every bit of it. But I think there's a lot to talk about today as well, because obviously we're now focusing on something which Pakistan is very proud of, and that is that our largest population percentage is that of the youth.
Yes. Amazing. So good job to us, I guess.
But you know, so that youth really needs guidance as well. Or for far too long, people have actually questioned the career choices over here and how to bring discipline in life as well. But I think Ramadan is the best time to do it as well. And I think it's very important that, you know, all of us reflect on it. But for the youth especially, what do you think about that?
I feel like there needs to be some sort of guidance that the youth can follow, some guidance counseling maybe, starting from the schools, and something along the lines of our parents also kind of not just, I mean, it's good that our parents have given us, you know, free will or liberty to pursue whatever we want, but I feel like in this day and age, we do need to find avenues that are more substantial, more you know, focused on developing the world, making the world a better place, not just ourselves, but the world entirely.
Absolutely.
I think that that's very important.
Absolutely. And I think to discuss this further and how can religion play a part in giving that direction to the youth, we've been joined by a religious scholar, Dr. Shujat Haider Hashmi, who joins us. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor.
Wa alaikum salam ji. Thank you so much. It's an honor for me to be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Great having you as well.
religious scholar is a big thing.
Right.
I consider myself as a student of religion.
We all are student in this life. I think that's the way forward. But Dr. Saab, I think it's very important. Ramadan teaches us discipline. That's something we've talked about throughout the first session.
Absolutely right.
But now we're moving on how it can help the youth, because obviously in modern times the youth is very much delusional, unfortunately. So how can we can connect religion with something that gives a guideline to the youth of how to go about their lives?
As we know, this is the month of Ramadan, and the month of Ramadan is a sacred month of Ramadan in which Quran has been sent down for the guidance of mankind. So we should get the guidance from the Quran. Let me quote another verse from Quran. It says, Ya ayyuhal lazina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyama kama kutiba alal lazina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. So fasting is something not new in our religion. Fasting was done in other religions. So the purpose behind fasting is to get piety, to get moderation, to purify ourselves. So our youth should take this month as a spiritual practice, right? To channelize their thoughts in a positive manner. And we have so many things to learn in this month of Ramadan.
Certainly. So, Dr. Saab, why is it that we see, right now the current generation that we talk about, one thing which I certainly don't like is they're always searching for shortcuts in life. And that's not the way forward. If we talk about our generation or our parents or our grandparents, they believed in the mantra of hard work and, it will pay off one day. But right now it's just a race where everybody's trying to get over one another, even if that means using ways which are not justified. Why is it that in society?
Actually, we are missing something, right? And in our universities, in our campuses, we should create a good blend of Quran teachings and modern teachings. Gen Z is mostly surrounded by, social media, apps, AI. Even for learning, they use AI for short learning, for quick learning. We used to read books at our time. But nowadays, when you teach the students, they just Google out any concept and they say, sir, you're teaching this way. The answer is, wrong. It's not right here. So please tell us. So what is the difference? So this is our job to train our youth in this month of Ramadan for a responsible behavior. Youth character building is very important. And let me quote the verse of our poet Allama Iqbal, Nigah bulan sukhan dil nawaz jaan pursos, yahi hai rakhte safar mere karwa ke liye. So our youth should have courteous talk, should have a higher vision. The purpose behind fasting is not just getting ajr, sawab, right? Or doing good deeds. It's a lifelong practice. So this is a month of Ramadan to change our lifestyle, to change our consumption habits, to change our thinking, to be positive, to realize the opportunity cost of time. We teach economics, so time is a great, it's a great opportunity cost.
Absolutely.
So our youth doesn't realize the importance of time.
And I think you mentioned something very beautiful, the art of book reading, Naila.
Yeah,
It's certainly
absolutely.
vanishing.
So there is one point that I would like to ponder on. Our youth, there's a lack in critical skills now. Before there was a subject called ethics, even till I was in school. And now there's no subject like this that teaches morals, values of how to live. Civic sense, how to live in society, how to be a groomed member of society, and how to play your role not just as a Muslim, but also just as a human being in society.
We do teach at NAST, the responsible management, and in our curriculum, in courses, we are including the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations, to make our society, to make our youth responsible, so that they can make the best use of resources. So we are trying to inculcate those good values in the syllabus, and the international accreditation of MBA and BBA program requires to inculcate those good values. So we have to do a lot, but we have to take small steps, right? We have to train our youth more for character building and more development.
So, using the Holy Quran, how can we develop critical thinking skills in this day and age, given the fact that our attention spans have basically decreased to 30 seconds or even
Absolutely.
less? So,
This is a really challenging in the class. Students, they have a very short memory span. For 10-15 minutes, they can retain the lecture, and they then just get bored. And we have lots of motivation in Quran. For example, there is verse of Quran. It says, وَسَخَّرَ لَكُم مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا مِنْهُ إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. The meaning of that verse is that we have conquered everything, whatever is in the sky and on the earth, but for those nations who ponder, who think. So the developed nations, they have taken the lead because they started thinking. They developed the critical thinking skills in their youth.
analysis, yeah.
Logic, philosophy. Philosophy is very important. Every subject has philosophy. I teach economics. Behind economics, there is a deep philosophy of capitalism, socialism, Islamic economics.
The invisible hand.
I mean,
Yeah, invisible hand.
you look at all the modern things that you are into right now, and you go back to history, and history will tell you there was an Islamic scientist behind it.
Absolutely.
Al-Khwarizmi, Ibn Sina. We can talk about so many of them who were actually the founding fathers of modern science as we know it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we just lost our way. Simple as
Yeah.
that. Isn't that right, Doctor Sir?
That's absolutely right. Actually, our youth is not aware of those personalities, renowned Islamic scholars, because we follow the West. That's good, but we are just cut from our own literature. We have our own values. We have our own cultures. So we have to promote our indigenous culture values.
So, are there any books that you might be able to recommend?
Books regarding Islamic literature.
Yes.
There are so many books which the students can read. For example, the students need to study the spiritual teachings of our renowned scholars, right? Just like Imam Ghazali, right? Ibn al-Arabi, right? And there are also other scholars like books of Sultan Bahu, right? And Rumi is bestseller in the West.
Yes.
So teachings of Rumi are based on divine love.
Yeah.
And they motivate us, to think about the very purpose of our creation, why Allah has created us. You can not just for eating and drinking, right? For a higher purpose. For example, there is a verse of Quran, Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. So Allah has sent us a steward, Khalifa or Naib, in this world, right? And we have a greater responsibility. We should have, our student and our youth should realize the very purpose of our creation, right? The soul is deeply connected with Almighty Allah. And the practice behind fasting is to get ourselves connected with the Almighty Allah, with God, and get the deeper meanings, of life.
So
and once you get the deeper meanings of life, and then you get the intrinsic motivation, and then you start doing something great.
Absolutely.
And
so that being said, what are your aspirations or ambitions for this Ramzan? Are there any targeted goals that you've set for yourself?
Everyone sets targeted goals. In this Ramadan, for example, our Muslim Institute conducts different training seminars, workshops for self-grooming, self-development, right? For spiritual development. So we conduct these activities.
Okay.
And,
I actually meant personally for
yeah.
yourself. What are some aspirations or ambitions that you've set for yourself? Some targets or some goals?
You're already a doctor now. what more does you want to aim in life? But I think that you've been there. I think Naila's right. Even though, like you mentioned, that I'm still a student. Since you've achieved so much in life, what is the goal and ambition now for Dr. Sir?
This month is for everyone. And in this month, we get a new energy. We change our attitude. We change our thinking process and set new targets. Prepare our body and soul,
Absolutely.
right? For the whole year,
Absolutely.
for the whole life.
Wonderfully said by Dr. Saab. And I think
Amazing.
because you were asking about books,
Yeah.
I'll tell you about a book that really gave me a lot of insight. It's called The Ideology of Islam. So if you can get your hands on, I'll post the link on our digital media platforms as well. If you can get your hands on that book, and it's not a pretty long book. If you have the time, just read it. It'll give you a complete guide a complete code to what is the ideology of Islam. And I think that's a beautiful book. I'll surely post it on digital media platform. But thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you
Saab,
so
Thanks
much.
for
so
joining
much.
us. It's been a really insightful session, and a lot of things Dr. Saab has identified for the youth. I think you can really ponder upon them, where this is going. And this is the month where you get it all back. So I think you can get on track very soon. We'd just request Junaid Saab if you can recite another naat for us, and then we'll go towards a short break, and then we'll come back. Yes, Junaid Saab.
حشر میں خود کو جو دیکھوں گا بکھر جاؤں گا حشر میں خود کو جو دیکھوں گا بکھر جاؤں گا آپ نے گر نہ سنبھالا تو کدھر جاؤں گا آپ نے گر نہ سنبھالا تو کدھر جاؤں گا اور عادت نعت بہانہ ہے میری بخشش کا عادت نعت بہانہ ہے میری بخشش کا نعت پڑھتے ہوئے میں پل سے گزر جاؤں گا نعت پڑھتے ہوئے میں پل سے گزر جاؤں گا آپ نے گر نہ سنبھالا تو کدھر جاؤں گا اور اتنا مانوس ہوں آقا تیرے قدموں سے اتنا مانوس ہوں آقا میں تیرے قدموں سے مجھ کو قدموں سے کیا دور تو مر جاؤں گا مجھ کو قدموں سے کیا دور تو مر جاؤں گا
The second 10 days of Ramadan are to seek forgiveness.
أستغفر الله ربي من كل ذنب أذنبته وأتوب إليه.
I seek Allah's forgiveness from all my sins, and I ask for repentance.
से काम होगा.
Welcome back, Pakistan, to our exclusive Sahur transmission here on Pakistan's only English channel, PTV World. We're now into our second segment, which is a very, very important subject. And I think a lot of people in Pakistan, especially women, need to understand the dangers that exist of what we're going to be talking about and how they can improve on it, from a very early time frame. So I think we're going to be talking about that in detail. But before we do that, time to announce a winner.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Well, we asked you a very particular question yesterday, and we have the winner that we're going to announce as well. So let's just first of all take a look at the question that we asked you yesterday, and of course then we tell you about the winner as well. So can we please have the question on screen? Can we have the question on screen? Can we have the question? No, we can't.
No,
so,
we can't.
So there you go. But for a fact, I do know that we're going to be announcing a winner, and we have another question as well. But we're going to come back to that. But
Yeah.
that being said, of course, like I said, we're on to a very, very important subject today. And we're going to be talking about that in detail. But we're not the experts. We're just going to want to extract as much knowledge as we can, although it's a very particular time of Sahur. But Dr. Sahaba has been very kind enough to join us. We've been joined by rheumatologist Dr. Sadia Riaz. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum ji.
How are you,
Ramzan
Dr.
Mubarak.
Thank you.
All
Ramzan
good, all
Mubarak to you
good.
too.
Shukran.
What a lovely energy straight away from Sahur, and I think that's really going to set the tone. Dr. Sahaba, I was trying to read a couple of things, and what I found out was a couple of stats and figures which I think are not new to you. So first of all, we need to understand the particular field that you're in, and what does it concern mainly in Pakistan?
Exactly. I'm a rheumatologist. So rheumatologists are the doctor who deals with joints of diseases of joints, muscles, connective tissue, any problems that is caused by an autoimmune problem. When I say autoimmune, it's a difficult word. I mean, autoimmune means that your own body is working or reacting against your joints, your skin, your internal organs. So there's more than 200 diseases that are known as autoimmune diseases, and that can affect any part, any organ of your body.
Like a joint degradation.
Exactly, and we rheumatologists, we deal in that. I would like to start about talking about arthritis. Most of people, they know this word arthritis, but they don't know what actually is happening. So there are two major types of arthritis that we see. One is the inflammatory arthritis. That means you got very hot, red, tender, swollen joints, very stiff joints. You're unable to move your joints or make a fist in the morning, especially early in the morning. This is caused by some sort of inflammation or autoimmune process in your body. I would just say a couple of important names of autoimmune problems that I see in Pakistan. For example, rheumatoid arthritis, systemic lupus erythematosus, ankylosing spondylitis, psoriatic arthritis. Unfortunately, these diseases, they are misdiagnosed. And when they come to us, the patient, they come to us, actually they come very late. My message via your channel is that if you have any pain in your joints, redness or stiffness or swelling, that is lasting for more than 6 months and it's not getting better with any over-the-counter painkillers, please do see a rheumatologist.
But you talked about the. I'm sorry. I'm tempted to ask because I know a lot of cases like so. If there's inflammation and that's causing problem, and you said that sometimes it's misdiagnosed as well. So if you have that, what are some of the major causes of that, and what is then the treatment for that inflammation as well? Because apparently I know a particular case where CRP levels were off the charts just because of the body had inflammation, and we couldn't even figure out where that inflammation is. We did every scan known to man. So if that is the case and CRP levels, C-reactive protein is going up, then and the body is showing there's inflammation, and if it's in the joints, how do we deal with it?
How do we deal with?
Yes.
You asked me about the causes.
Yes.
Main causes in our region, in the subcontinent, it could be our genetic, environmental, pollution. And in this age and time, I would add it to the diet and the lifestyle we're living, especially the youngsters. So that could be the main cause of these autoimmune problems and the rising cases of these autoimmune problems in Pakistan. But fortunately, we have new sort of treatment available in Pakistan right now, and people should get early medical help, see a rheumatologist and get it diagnosed. Like you mentioned about CRP, I always say that we don't treat the blood test, we treat human being. So I don't treat a CRP, I treat a human being. If you're coming to me with all the signs of inflammation, hot, tender, swollen joints, some skin rashes, some butterfly rashes in case of lupus, some scaly itchy patches in your scalp in case of psoriatic arthritis, or a back or stiff pain for more than 6 months. So if you're coming to me with all these symptoms, I would start to do all the blood tests or scans that are relevant to these autoimmune problems. Again, like I said, they are very, very common in Pakistan, misdiagnosed, and by the time when the patient come to us, unfortunately, they have developed permanent joint deformity to the point that they can't hold a spoon or a pen, they can't brush their hair, they can't dress themselves. So they come to a disability. My message is to treat these diseases early, get the treatment, get the help. Rheumatologists are the doctors who treat autoimmune problems, and your disease can be cured, and it can get better. And we have the newer medicines and newer technology available in Pakistan. These medicines are called biological therapy. So we can treat you, we can make you better via these medications.
And stop being doctors yourself. You know, the
Yeah.
doctors exist. Go to them,
Go to
ask
them.
them. Our simple is open the cabinet, take a painkiller, or just put a heat patch and
Yeah,
everything
we
done.
have a lot of WhatsApp doctors as well, literally. So instead of going on, talking on WhatsApp and sharing the one pill suits
That
all
worked for you once,
solution,
yeah.
it's not going to work for everyone. That's why you need to go to a specialized doctor and make sure that you are being treated instead of 10 other people that,
No,
that
isn't
basically,
it funny? Headache, painkiller,
Yeah.
joint pain, painkiller, back pain, painkiller, flu, painkiller.
Painkiller, everything.
I'm hungry, painkiller.
Yeah, just
Nothing
the
else.
solution to everything in life is just a painkiller. I mean, come on. But anyway, Dr. Sidra, understanding this, I feel like, again, I don't have much knowledge on this, and I'd like you to elucidate on this. There are different types of arthritis.
Exactly.
Is that so?
In the first section, I talked about inflammatory arthritis or the autoimmune arthritis. Now I'm going to talk about degenerative arthritis, very common in knee joints. When people say they can't climb stairs or they can pray namaz in a sitting position,
it
proper
hurts, yes.
position, because their knee hurts. So that is basically a degeneration process.
Okay.
The cartilage, the lubrication cartilage between your joints, knee joints, they start to degenerate by age, by time, by wear and tear, and obesity, other factors, and then you start getting pain in your knees that can radiate down to your feet or up to you towards your hip. So knee arthritis is again one of another major type of arthritis that I see. Again, it's treatable. I can give you medicines, I can give you some gel injection inside the knee, and then I can counsel you about how to modify your lifestyle, like weight reduction, exercises, diet control. And since we're in the middle of Ramadan right now, I would strongly recommend everybody to please stop eating all the pakoras and samosas and look after the time period after Ramadan.
Yeah.
I get a lot of patients because they do all this fatty and fried food. They start getting all the problem with their
So
knees.
what is the typical iftar for Dr. Sadia Riaz? What is the typical iftar?
Typical, I try to avoid any sort of fried stuff, preferably some fruit chaat or some chana chaat, things like that. I even tell my patients to keep their taste buds alive, but don't overdose them with pakoras and samosas and kachoris. Now I'm coming to a very important topic, that is actually back and neck pain.
The most common. in
Most
Pakistan.
like
common
something that
in
we
the
suffer with.
youngsters they're coming to me with their neck problem and back problem. Again, it is sort of a degeneration where your spine starts to degenerate and there's some compression on your nerve, and then you will get pain in your hand or lower legs. Sometimes people call it sciatica, in Pakistan chuk type cheese. So it's again very common. I'm seeing a lot of patients, youngsters. Again, guys, you need to change your lifestyle. You need to correct your posture when you're sitting on your laptops. Start doing some exercise. If you're sitting on your computers for more than 2 hours, just take a little walk, get some fresh air, move your neck, do some exercises. Again, normally with your shoulders, major joints.
And imagine
knees.
what's the common remedy that people have for that? Sleep on the floor.
Sleep on the floor, or they just wrap something around it. So again, just remember that your joint is a living organ, just like your heart or your kidneys. And if you're not using it, you're actually making it disabled.
Oh goodness. So Dr. Sidhar, we have a lot of athletes who are probably watching this show, and some are sitting, right next to us. So what advice can you give them regarding, if they get injured while they're, active or engaged in play? Sometimes, you might, since you play cricket, you're very involved in cricket.
I have the knee issue. So
Yeah.
I think that cartilage thing that she was, I was actually trying to figure out how I can improve. And for me, often it happens if today what was a new something that happened is that I felt that the lower half of my right leg is certainly becoming numb, you know, so I don't have enough strength in it to, because I batted for about 15 overs, so I don't have enough strength in there as well. So, you know, that something like that. And a lot of athletes have these kinds of problems.
Yeah, so some very recurring ailments that, you know, athletes might face. Any suggestions or recommendations
I think
for
again,
them?
sports-related injuries, it could be injury to a ligament, cartilage. You need to improve your diet, take more vitamin D, do your warm-up exercises and strengthening exercises. Since I mentioned vitamin D, I would like to talk about vitamin D. Vitamin D, I would declare it as Pakistan's national disease, vitamin D deficiency. Every second male or female, they will have vitamin D deficiency. Again, the reasons are we don't go outside, we don't want to go in the sun, we'll get tan, hum gore nahi honge. Again, we are not focused on a healthy diet. We are going towards more fast food.
I mean, I love
sort
the
of
sun.
diet.
I want
Yeah.
the sun to shine on me.
I'm
Exactly.
very excited for the summers,
But
to be very honest.
many people, they are vitamin D deficient, especially who are spending their time indoors, or the kids nowadays who are working night shifts and sleeping on the daytime. They are getting vitamin D
So
deficiency.
there's been a whole campaign from Pakistan as well regarding vitamin D deficiency, and a lot of you know, it has been suggested for calcium and vitamin D. Now for us it's very common, what I've seen, a general perception is they'll go buy a capsule of vitamin D and take it once every week.
Yeah.
I think twice every month or thrice every month.
I think there are
Or-
different
yeah,
doses you can
doses,
take. Yeah.
you know, in terms of thousands which they take. Does that really help? Or
No,
do they?
no.
Well, there you go.
I'm totally against self-medication. Please do not take any medicines over the counter, any painkillers or any vitamins. You don't know what you are taking inside your body, what you're eating. So don't take any medication without doctor prescription, without discussing it with the doctor. It could be something that could be beneficial, it could be become a toxicity or poison to you. So please always consult a doctor, especially again, like I said, if I talk about vitamin D deficiency, you can have muscle weakness, muscle numbness, you feel very fatigued or tired, you have dry skin, your hair are not very healthy looking. So you will start getting all these little signs and symptoms. It's the best way is to get it checked and then properly get it treated by a doctor.
Absolutely. Very aptly put, and I think very informative as well. But I must ask you, because you know, we were reading a couple of figures as well, which
Yeah.
told us that there's a high percentage of osteoarthritis in Pakistan, especially in rural areas. It's gone up to 70%. What is that, and why is that happening?
Again, it's related to bone health. The bone health generally is declining over the time, over the ages. I think what you're referring is to osteoporosis. Osteoporosis means very weak, brittle, porous bones. You can suddenly develop a fracture without any major injury. More common in females above 60, postmenopausal, when their periods have stopped. Again, it's a silent problem, it's a silent disease. It only presents when somebody is coming to me with a fracture, either fracture of wrist or fracture of spine, and when I do the x-ray, I find out that the patient is osteoporotic. That means very extremely weak bones. And again, it is becoming very extremely common. Again, it could be related to hormonal issues, dietary issues, lack of exercise. You know, I tell you an interesting thing. When you exercise, your body regenerate or regrowth bones. So bone growth is actually very important, and it's related to exercise. So again, our sedentary lifestyle, our sitting lifestyle, not much of exercise, it can lead to weak, porous bones, and that can, in later ages, cause you problems.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Saiba, understanding what you mentioned about women, how many times should a woman go to the doctor for a general checkup, you know, to make sure that everything is in check, especially regarding, you know, arthritis and osteoporosis and whatnot?
I would mention some few general points that of a female, especially a female, young female of a childbearing age, if they're having these symptoms for a couple of months and they have tried all the totkas and things, they should go and see a doctor.
Okay.
First of all would be extreme fatigue, extreme anemic or low energy. Second would be joint pains and stiffness. They would say they're finding it very difficult to do the household work. Number third thing, it could be something like numbness or tingling that's moving around your arms. Again, they will tell me that they find it difficult to hold their babies for breastfeeding or just to carry their babies. They find it difficult. Commonly people say that they can't climb stairs. If they do a walk of stairs, they start getting pain in their knees, like you mentioned, that will travel up to the hip. People will complain about back pain a lot, and they've tried all the painkiller, but it's not going away.
Yes.
And again, this back pain is radiating to your one side of your foot or leg, and it's again becoming numb or weak. So these are the main symptoms. If you're having all these symptoms, you've tried something and it's not getting better, please see a rheumatologist.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Dr. Sabah, thank you
well
very much
said.
for joining
Thank
us.
you so
It's
much.
such an informative session, but I wish we could go on. We don't have luxury of time, but what we promise you is we're going to share Dr. Sabah's handles, social media handles, and then you can get in touch with her over Instagram, which is the most preferred choice. So I'm sorry if your DMs get filled, but that's going to happen. But thank you very much. A really
Thank you so
informative
much.
session. And you know, it's as Rebecca McIntyre said, that to succeed in life, you actually need 3 bones: a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone. So I think it's simple as that. So you need those 3 bones, but then again, listen to the doctors, listen to professionals like Dr. Sadia Riaz, and you're not going to lose your way. Please, this is a very, very serious issue in Pakistan, and it breaks my heart to see majority of the youth struggling with back and neck problems, and you know, bone health as well is something that we really need to stress upon. It is a very, very serious issue. That being said, before we go, the question of the day is there as well. We have to announce the winner. We finally can.
Yes, I'm so excited. Let's see who won the
Well, there you have it.
giveaway.
Right. So it was in which month the last ayah of the Quran was revealed, and the correct answer was Dhul Hijra, and the winner is Muhammad Umar Iqbal. So congratulations
Umar.
on behalf of Cheesiest, Pakistan's very own brand. You have won a fantastic voucher for you, your friends, and your family. So congratulations, Muhammad Umar Iqbal, for winning this voucher, which will come your way as well. And now it's time for today's question. Of course, that is also very important.
Yes.
Another winner. So you
Yes,
know,
another winner. So you guys have another chance to enter.
certainly, certainly not you this time.
Not
again.
me. Oh God, it's never me.
Well, let's take a look at the question of today, which is very simple. So you got to answer it. What is the first pillar of Islam? Is it A, Salah, which is prayer, B, Zakat, which is charity, C, Shahada, which is a declaration of faith, or D, Sawm, which is fasting? So what is the first pillar of Islam? Options there on front of your screens. This question brought to you by Cheesiest Pakistan. What you can do is go to Facebook, go to Instagram, even you know, find us on our website as well. You can give us the correct answer along with your name and your address and your phone number, which is very, very important, so we can contact you and send you this voucher as well. And then, of course, I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. That being said, at the last, we'd like to thank Serena Hotels.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your hospitality, for providing these sahur meals that we will be indulging in. I think I've indulged in mine, I won't lie. But after this
You
show
said
wraps
that
up,
to not give me a pun.
I know, but you know, when the food is this good, you have to have
Absolutely.
it.
But thank you very much, Serena Hotels, for providing us with delicious suhoor meals throughout this Ramadan, and we truly value your hospitality once again, our hospitality partner, Serena Hotels. That being said, from me, my co-host Naila, and our entire team, we wish you a lovely suhoor ahead, and we'll join you tomorrow, same time on PTV World. Till then, write to us on Facebook, Instagram. Tell us what you want to know, and how you can join the program is very simple, through digital media and through comment, like, subscribe, scan the QR code, and email us your name and address. Simple as that. From all of us, it's goodbye for now. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Ramzan Pakistan, Allah ka ehsan. Ramzan Pakistan.